What are these? He answered and said unto me, these are they that have put off the mortal clothing. Like we talking about the resurrection. They put off the mortal clothing, these mortal bodies, and put on immortal, everlasting life, living forever. And have confessed Yahweh Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Now are they crowned and receive palms. Crowned with powers and authority. The reign with a Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Verse 46. Then said I unto the angel, what young person is it that crowneth them, and giveth them palms in their hands? So we want to know, who is this that's taller than the rest, that's putting these crowns on their head, the palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, it is the Son of the Most High. Where is the Mashiach Yahweh Shai? In the Apocrypha. It is the Son of the Most High, whom they have confessed in the world, because they are his sheep. They have confessed him in the world. And they have followed a Mashiach Yahweh Shai wherever he is. But you see, it says, so he answered and said unto me, it is the Son of the Most High, who is a Mashiach Yahweh Shai, whom they have confessed in the world. You better hear what he's saying. You confessing him. Everything else but a Mashiach Yahweh Shai, and exalting yourself, and we Mashiach him, we belong to him, and he belongs to the Most High. You better hear what it's saying. So he answered and said unto me, verse 47, it is the Son of the Most High, the Mashiach Yahweh Shai, whom they have confessed in the world. Then I began to commend them that stood so stiffly for Yahweh Shama Mashiach Yahweh Shai, Most High, in the name of the anointed Savior. See, that's the sheep that hear his voice. That's the 144,000 will be crowned. But if you don't hear him being exalted, if you don't hear him being exalted, then that's not one of the 144,000. Between those two scriptures in Revelation 14, the second Ezra, the second chapter, you get some kind of understanding of what is needed and what has to be done to be part of the 144,000. Don't be persuaded this way or that way. If you call yourself a sheep that hear a Mashiach Yahweh Shai's voice, she gonna bring it. Look at St. John. St. John. We're still looking at the resurrection. All that is included in what we're bringing forth, with understanding in between. St. John 11, and we're going to look at verse this is during the time that Lazarus died. So look at St. John 11 and 11. These things said he, and after that he said unto them, our friend Lazarus sleepeth, but I go that I may awake him out of sleep. Mind you, Lazarus, by the time you get there, he's been dead for 4 days. He said to the disciples, Master, if he sleep, he shall do well. So if he sleep, he'll be all right. That's what they're saying. If he sleep, he gonna be all right. Howbeit, the Mashiach spake of his death. But they thought that he had spoken of taking a rest in sleep. They thought he was talking about, he was just asleep. But he was talking about his death. Because he had died. Then said the Mashiach unto them plainly, Lazarus is dead. And I am glad for your sakes. I am not there. I was not there. To the intent you may believe, nevertheless, let us go unto him. Then said Thomas, which is called Didymus, unto his fellow disciples, let us also go, that we may die with him. Then when the Mashiach came, he found that he had lain in the grave 4 days already. He was in the grave 4 days already. Now Bethany was nigh or near unto Jerusalem, about 15 furlongs off. And many of the Jews came to Martha and Mary to comfort them concerning their brother. Then Martha, as soon as she heard that Mashiach was coming, went and met him. But Mary sat still in the house. Mary didn't come, but Martha ran to meet Mashiach. Then said Martha unto Mashiach, Master, if thou hadst been here, my brother had not died. If you'd been here, he would have died. But I know that even now, whatsoever thou wilt ask of the Most High will give it thee. See, I know even now, whatever you ask the Most High, he's going to give it you. Mashiach said unto her, thy brother shall rise again. See, your brother shall rise again. Lazarus is going to rise again. Look at how the mindset that she went into. Martha said unto him, I know that he shall rise again in the resurrection at the last day. He saying, yeah, he's going to rise in the resurrection at the last day. Mashiach said unto her, I am the resurrection. He said, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Believeth thou this? Hear that? That's those that we just read about, that follow the Lamb wherever he go. They confess him in this world. And he's going to be more exalted, so they're going to follow what the Most High has done and exalted him. And that's what Peter said. The Most High exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior for to give repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins. Right? Acts 5:31. In Philippians 2, Paul come back and say the Most High have highly exalted him, give him a name above every name in heaven and the earth and under the earth. So here it is. Verse 26, and whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Believest thou this? She said unto him, yeah, Master, I believe that thou art Mashiach, the Son of the Most High. That's why Mashiach is so important. So many people have missed the fact of how the Spirit brought forth in this day and time Mashiach. So it behooves you to see this, because there's many Yahushua or Yeshaya or Yeshua or whatever name you call it, Jesus. There's only one, Mashiach, the Messiah, the Anointed. You see, there were many saviors. There's only one, Messiah. That's what he said. Look what she said. She said to him, yeah, Master, I believe that thou art a Mashiach, the Son of the Most High, which should come into the world. And when she had so said, she went her away. Excuse me. And called Mary, her sister. Called Mary, her sister, secretly, saying, the Master is come and calleth for thee. as soon as she heard that, she rose quickly and came unto him. Now Mashiach Yahushua was not yet coming to the town, but was in that place where Martha met him. The Jews then, which were with her in the house, and comforted her, when they saw Mary, that she rose up hastily and went out, followed her, nosy, saying, she go up unto the grave to weep there. She going to the grave to weep for Lazarus. Then when Mary was come where Mashiach Yahushua was, and saw him, she fell down at his feet, saying unto him, Master, if thou hast been here, my brother had not died. But Mashiach Yahushua therefore saw her weeping, and the Jews also weeping, which came with her. He groaned in the spirit and was troubled. So you see the Israelites that came with Mary, she was weeping, they started crying. But check it out. And said, where have you laid him? They said unto him, Master, come and see. Mashiach Yahushua wept. That's a shorter scripture in the Bible. Mashiach Yahushua wept. 2 words. He started crying. Then said the Jews, behold, how he loved him. And some of them said, could not this man, which opened the eyes of the blind, have caused that even this man should not have died? Same thing that was mocking him when he was on the tree. You save others, save yourself. Mocking him. It's our people. Mashiach said, take ye away the stone. Martha, the sister of him that was dead, said unto him, Master, by this time he stinketh, for he hath been dead 4 days. Mashiach said unto her, said I not unto thee, that if thou wouldest believe, thou shouldest see the glory of the Most High. Then they took away the stone from the place where the dead was laid. Mashiach lifted up his eyes and said, Father, Abba, I thank thee that thou hast heard me, and I knew that thou hearest me always. But because of the people who stand by, I said it, that they may believe that thou hast sent me. And when he thus had spoken, he cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. And he that was dead came forth, bound hand and foot, grave cloths, and his face was bound about with a napkin. Mashiach said unto them, loose him and let him go. Came out of the grave, been dead 4 days. And many of the Jews which came to Mary and had seen the things which Mashiach did believed on him. But some of them went their ways to the Pharisees, bunch of snitches, and told them what things Mashiach had done. See that? So now, let's see if I can find it. Because you see, raised the man out of the grave, and here some of them went running to the Pharisees to tell them. So let's continue. It's very important. You see this, verse 47. Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees once he raised Lazarus from the dead. And it tells you, in verse 45, that many of the Jews which came to Mary and had seen the things which Mashiach did believed on him. Believed on Mashiach. But some of them went their ways to the Pharisees and told them what things Mashiach had done in raising Lazarus from the dead after he had been dead for 4 days. Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees of council and said, what do we? For this man doeth many miracles. He done raised somebody from the dead. If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him. Remember, verse 45, then many of the Jews which came to Mary and had seen the things which Mashiach did believed on him. What are the Pharisees saying? Verse 48, if we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him. And the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation. So who they working with? The government. The Romans, the so-called Italian Caucasians, who are the superpower of the earth at the time of Mashiach Shai walked the earth. They're afraid the Romans going to come and take their place. Take away both our place and nation. And they did in 70 AD. From 65 to 70 AD, we was warm with the Romans. They brought us down. And one of them, named Caiaphas, being the high priest that same year, said to them, "You know nothing at all. You don't know what you're talking about. Nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, for the nation of Israel, the people, and that the whole nation perish not. This spake he not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that a Mashiach Shai should die for that nation. Die for that nation. Die for that nation, which are the 12 tribes of Israel. Point blank, no and ifs or buts about it. Because he said in Matthew 15:24, but he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of the Most High that were scattered abroad. That's why you see the books of Romans and Corinthians, and Ephesians, Philippians. These are Israelites that scattered these other lands. Like James 1:1 says, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad greetings. Come on. You can't make that book, but these books speak to anyone but the 12 tribes of Israel that are in these different lands. That's why I say 52, and not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of the Most High that were scattered abroad. Then from that day forth they took counsel together to put him to death. Mashach therefore walked no more openly among the Jews, but went thence unto the country near to the wilderness, into a city called Ephraim, northern Israel, and there continued with his disciples. See? Wicked Israelites plotting against him. It's all right. But we know we'll get the victory in the end. Mashiach Yahushua. The glory of the Most High. Best to recognize look at Acts the 17th chapter. We're going to start at verse 16. Acts 17 and 16. We're still looking at this resurrection. Now while Paul waited for them at Athens, his spirit was stirred in him when he saw the city wholly given to idolatry. He said this whole city is dealing with idolatry. Therefore disputed he in the synagogue with the Jews and with the devout persons, and in the market daily with them that met with him. He disputing with them, going back and forth. All you didn't say you're supposed to be going back and forth about the word. What it says. Therefore disputed he in the synagogue and their churches with the Jews and with the devout persons, and in the market daily with them that met with him. Then certain philosophers of the Epicureans and of the Stoics encountered him. And some said, what will this babbler say? Others some, he seemeth to be a setter of strange gods, strange idols, because he preaches unto them Mashiach Yahushua and the resurrection. And they took him and brought him unto Areopagus, saying, may we know what this new doctrine whereof thou speakest is? For thou bringest certain strange things to our ears. We would know therefore what these things mean. For all the Athenians and strangers which were there spent their time in nothing else but either to tell or to hear some new thing. Telling some new thing or gossiping. Or to hear some new thing. Listen to somebody that has something new to say. Then Paul stood in the midst of Mars Hill and said, Ye men of Athens, I perceive that in all things ye are too superstitious. You know that's us. That's Israel. Can't walk on the crack, or else you're going to get bad luck, mirror broke, all that 7 years of bad luck. I mean, that's superstitious. For as I passed by and beheld your devotion, I found an altar with this inscription, To the unknown power, whom therefore ye ignorantly worship, him declare I unto you. The Most High that made the world and all things therein, seeing that he is the power of heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temples made with hands. Hear that? The Most High don't dwell in temples made with hands. He dwells within us. We the temple of the Most High. Neither is worship with man's hands, as though he needed anything, saying he giveth to all life and breath and all things, and hath made of one blood all nations of men for to dwell on all the face of the earth, and hath determined the time before appointed, the future, and the bounds of their habitation, how far they can put their borders and so forth, that they should seek the Most High, if haply they might feel after him and find him, though he be not far from every one of us, Israelites. For in him we live and move and have our being, as certain also of your own poets have said, for we are also his offspring. For as much then as we are the offspring of the Most High, we ought not to think that the Godhead or the powerhead is like unto gold or silver or stone graven by art and man's device. You know, no idol, no nothing, no statue, nothing that you can set up to represent him. He said, in the times of his ignorance. Listen, those out there use this scripture a lot. Acts 17 and 30, those that feel that they have done so much in this world, but they can't come back to the Most High's law, statutes, commandments, and fear the Most High and have faith in the Mashiach Yahushua. This is for you. Like he telling them. In the times of this ignorance, the Most High winked at. Salakia. But now commandeth all men everywhere to repent. Repent. Why? Ask for forgiveness of your sins sincerely and don't do them no more. Because he have appointed a day in the which he will judge the world in righteousness by that man, Mashiach Yahushua, whom he hath ordained, whereof he hath given assurance unto all men, in that he hath raised him from the dead. See, he raised him from the dead. Mind you, all like us. All wasn't there. When we met Paul on the road to Damascus, Paul was going against those that was preaching in the name of the anointed Savior. He was putting to death. Whose death was definitely put to death as Saul. And he was converted. And he wrote most of the New Testament. But see, most people, like Peter said, most people don't understand his writings. He never went against the law of the Most High. He was a Pharisee. The law says, come on. Are you serious? That's why Mashiach Yahushua was calling them hypocrites. They knew the law. They ain't know he said, they swing at a gnat and swallow a camel. You know what I mean? They didn't follow the weightier matters of the law. You know? They taught us, that's why I say, listen to what they say, but not what they do. They want examples of how to be righteous in the eyes of the Most High. That's why he called them hypocrites. Verse 31, because he hath appointed a day in the which he will judge the world in righteousness by that man whom he hath ordained, who is Mashiach Yahushua, whereof he hath given assurance unto all men, and that he hath raised him from the dead. That's Mashiach Yahushua, y'all. Look at 2 Corinthians 5 and 10. Just to back that up. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of a Mashiach, Yahushua, that every one may receive the things done in his body, things you have done in these bodies, according to according to that he have done, whether it be good or bad. See, the book's gonna be open, and if it's more good things that you've done in gathering the children together, or teaching, or putting your brick in, because everybody's not gonna be a teacher. Everybody's not gonna be dealing with street teaching. Everybody, you have different administrations. Understand this, people. And those that's trying to get everybody to do the same thing, no. You got it wrong. You got it wrong. There's different administrations. Some people just gonna be helps. That's it. That's all they're gonna do. That's their reward. They gonna get their reward from helping. That's it. How about that? But see, here's what I want everybody to be. You can't. That's why I say you can't be stuck in an era of life where it was brought that everybody had to do the same thing. Okay, if that's the case, then if you're just doing this, a lot of brothers have been skilled in many different things, not even known, because all they was doing was they following suit what everybody else was doing. Nobody ever asked them, what skills you have? What do you do? What do you do here? We got this brother over here doing something different. We have other brothers out here doing this, and other brothers doing certain things. And the women too. It's too much misunderstanding. When we should be one and bring the body of the Mashiach Yahushua together. Because that's the only way that's going to go down. Everybody have something they can contribute to this truth. Just gotta bring your brick, put it into the foundation, which is the Mashiach Yahushua. Look, go to 1 Corinthians 12. From what I just said, you know, maybe I want to make sure, you say prove all things so you understand exactly what I'm saying when we look at it in Scripture. 1 Corinthians 12 and 4. Now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. So we roll in the same Spirit. The last days, the Most High is speaking to us through our Mashiach Yahushua. Hebrews 1 and 2. And there are differences of administrations. That's what I just said. But the same Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua. And there are diversities of operations. But it's the same Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua, which worketh all in all. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit whereon. Whereon. But the one is given the Spirit, the word of wisdom. See? The one is given the Spirit, the word of wisdom. So it says, to another, the word of knowledge by the same Spirit. Spirit of the Most High. The Mashiach Yahushua is speaking to us in these last days. To the power of the Most High. To another, faith by the same Spirit. Faith by the same Spirit. The Mashiach Yahushua. To the glory of the Most High. To another, the gifts of healing by the same Spirit. The Mashiach Yahushua. The Spirit of the Most High. To another, the working of miracles. By the same Spirit. Mashiach Yahushua, the Spirit of the Most High. These are different individuals doing different gifts, having different gifts, doing these things. To another, the working of miracles. To another, prophecy, prophesying about the future, events that's going to happen, and so forth. To another, discerning of spirits. Discerning, see, check it out, the spirits. By the same Spirit, the Mashiach Yahushua, Spirit of the Most High, Holy Spirit. To another, diverse kinds of tongues, speaking in different languages. Different tongues, different languages. So if you can't do it, this ain't you. But there are those that have that speak different languages. To another, the interpretation of tongues. Once they say what they say, they understand what they say. But all these worketh that one and the self-same Spirit, dividing to every man severally as he will. See? Some might have several. But these are gifts that you have that you must look at the body, see who have these gifts. Rather than just doing one thing that you've done all your life. Everybody got to be like you. No. Listen. But all these worketh that one and the same self-same Spirit, dividing to every man severally as he will. For as the body is one, and have many members, so the body is one, our body have many members. And all the members of that one body, being many, are one body. So also is Mashiach. Talk about our body, our physical body has many members. For one Spirit, for by one Spirit are we all baptized into one body. Whether we be Jews or Gentiles, whether we be bond or free, and have been all made to drink into one Spirit. Now this Gentiles talking about the Israelites that are calling themselves Corinthians and Philippians, and Thessalonians, and so forth. The Israelites. As it says, if you go to the beginning of the book, I'll just prove it right quick. It's going to say to the saints, or our power, Most High is the power of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. Let's go there. 1 Corinthians 1, start at verse 1. Paul, called to be an apostle of the Mashiach Yahushua, through the will of the Most High, who is the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Sophinas, our brother, unto the church of the Most High, which is at Corinth. To them that are sanctified by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua and Mashiach, called to be saints. With all that in every place call upon the name of Mashiach Yahushua, our power, which is possessive pronoun showing ownership, both theirs and ours. See, so he's saying, look, theirs, and he included himself with the Corinthians and ours. Theirs, the Jews, and the Gentiles. But Paul will be considered a Gentile to Peter and all of them. Since they was rolling with a Mashiach Yahushua, they would say, hey man, they gone, man. Anybody outside of Jerusalem and Israel, they say, forget them. But they're Israelites. So you see it. It says, to the saints. Called to be saints. Real quick. This is how you do. Just go to all the beginning of these chapters, and you're going to see it. Called to be saints. To the saints. Who are the saints? Go to Psalms 148:14. He also exalted the horn, which is the power of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel, who are we a people near unto him, praise ye the Most High. So the saints are the children of Israel. So now, as you're looking at this, I mean, it should be pretty much self-evident. When you go back to 1 Corinthians 12, that's what I'm saying, that we all have a different duty as the body of the Mashiach Yahushua. 1 Corinthians 12 and 14. Y'all all right on the conference call? All right. Okay. 1 Corinthians 12 and 14. Verse 13. For by one Spirit are we all baptized into one body, whether we be Jews or Gentiles. That's the Israelites that were scattered. The Corinthians are those that are scattered. Whether we be bond or free, and have been all made to drink into one Spirit of the Israelites. For the body is not one member, but many. If the foot shall say, because I am not the hand, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body? The foot gonna say, I'm not the hand, so I'm not important. Am I not of the body? Is it therefore not of the body? And if the ear shall say, because I am not the eye, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body? Give you different parts of our body. If the whole body were an eye, if the whole body was an eye, where were the hearing? How you gonna hear it? The whole body's a big eye. How you gonna hear? If the whole were hearing, where were the smelling? How you gonna smell it? Everything is a big ear. But now hath the Most High set the members, every one of them, in the body, as it hath pleased him. And if they were all one member, where were the body? They were all one member, everyone was an eye, everyone's doing the same thing, where's the body? He's saying. There's a lot of reason why we don't have a lot of things going for ourselves, because everybody won't be the same. They want to look at it, all to be like them. Instead of being who you are, bringing what you have to the table in our nation. Those that are following this, more power to you. It says, but now are they many members, yet but one body. And the eye cannot say unto the hand, I have no need of thee, nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of you. These are members of the body, people that's in the Israelite nation. Nay, much more those members of the body which seem to be more feeble are necessary. So you look down, I found this, a lot of brothers, they look down upon those that are feeble, or they poor, or they don't have much. They look down upon them. Like they not important in the body. Hear what it said? Nay, much more those members of the body which seem to be more feeble are necessary. You hear that? They are necessary. Can you relate to that? No, a lot of you can't, because you so high-minded you think you're better than somebody. But these that are more feeble are necessary. And those members of the body which we think to be less honorable, upon these we bestow more abundant honor. How about that? The ones you look down upon, that's poor, don't have nothing, scuffling, they more honorable. Abundant honor, it says. And our uncomely parts have more abundant comeliness. The uncomely means beautiful. Those that are not looking good and shining like you, they have more abundant comeliness, more abundant beauty. That's why the Most High, it's ways and thoughts, not our ways and thoughts. That's why you got to change. For our comely parts, our beautiful parts, have no need. But the Most High have tempered the body together, having given more abundant honor to that part which lacked. Giving more honor to that part that lacked. You can't see it because of the fact of, just like the poor, downtrodden, poor in spirit. You look down upon them. Oh, you're too good to be able to deal with them. What do you say? For our comely parts have no need, but the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushua, have tempered the body together, having given more abundant honor. Get that? Abundant honor to that part which lacked, that there should be no schism in the body. See? You're giving honor to that part that lacked, therefore somebody got to be able to fulfill what this is saying. If none of y'all want to deal with it, somebody got to be able to fulfill what it's saying. Because the Most High say he's doing it. Who's going to use? He's going to use men to look at that, those that lacked, and give them more honor. They're going to feel that honor. They're supposed to feel that honor through you. And whether one member suffer, verse 25, that there should be no schism in the body. See? But that the members should have the same care one for another. See, the same care one for another. Ain't no, you like this brother, you no clicking. That's what he's saying. Don't be clicking. I'm saying deal with no clicks. Oh, me and this brother rolling together. Oh, we can't deal with you because you ain't rolling with us. Or you ain't got it going on like we do. So we gonna roll together, man. Because you know we got it going on. He ain't got enough money to be rolling with us. You know, look at it. He ain't got this. He ain't got the garments like we got. He ain't dressing like us and all that. Putting them down. The Most High said he give them the part that lacked. Abundant honor. How about that? Verse 26. And whether one member suffer, all the members suffer with it. Or one member be honored, all the members rejoice with it. See, if one suffer, we all suffer together. That's the mindset of a Mashiach. I mean, he suffered for every last one of us. He went through it. It pleased the Most High to bruise him for us. Wicked us. Wretched us. Verse 27, now ye are the body of a Mashiach, and members in particular. And the Most High has set some in the church first, apostles. See? Everybody ain't gonna be apostle. Secondarily, prophets, everybody gonna be a prophet. Thirdly, teachers, everybody gonna be a teacher. After that, miracles, everybody gonna be performing miracles. Then gifts of healing, everybody gonna be able to have the gifts of healings. Helps, see, here it is, like I told you, helps. All they do is help. Helps. They just finance. Or whatever they can do with their body that needs to be done, they do it. That's helping. Governments, diversities of tongues. See, we got our own government, knowing how to rule our people. That's the civil laws. The moral laws. Diversity of tongues, speaking in different languages. Are all apostles? See, that's what I'm saying. Are all apostles? No. Are all prophets? No. Are all teachers? No. Are all workers of miracles? No. Have all the gifts of healing? Everybody gonna be able to go and heal somebody? No. Do all speak with tongues? And do all interpret? No. But covet earnestly the best gifts, and yet show I unto you a more excellent way. And then we're going to get ready to go into love. First and foremost, keeping up the commandments and the way we deal with each other. So, chapter 14. verse 13. Chapter 13. So these are the things you got to look at in looking at how we prepare ourselves for the resurrection, which you look at, I'm just going to, if you read this whole chapter, it's dealing with charity, which is love in 1 Corinthians 13th chapter. But he tells you in verse 13, it says, and now abideth faith, hope, charity, these three. Charity is love. But the greatest of these is charity, love. See? Love for your brother and sister. And keeping the commandments of the Most High. He said, love thy neighbor as thyself. So the greatest of them is love. And that's something that we don't have amongst our people. We don't know how to love each other. We don't really care. And if you look at love as, you know, even if you deal with the laws of the Most High, he just told you the greatest commandments is what? Love the Most High with all our heart, mind, and soul, strength, and love thy neighbor as thyself. Start with self. How you feel about yourself, you can treat somebody else right because you love yourself. You don't love yourself. If somebody that don't love themselves, they can't treat no one right. They don't know how to treat someone right. They don't really know how to love because they don't love themselves. It starts with self. That's why you go through self-examination. We have to. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck with the same problem, the same thing that we've been dealing with since slavery, all the way to now, and can't break that bond of confusion, or come up with an excuse, as we read about people say, hey, come on, this is it. Mashiach Abishai is knocking on the door. Don't you want to sup with him? No, I got something to do. I got better things to do than that. So we be cast to the lake of fire. Point blank. See, our people don't like to hear that because you so used to that Most High is all love and I'm gonna be blessed. I'm blessed by the best, and all the things that you've been taught in Christianity, you're gonna go right down with those things that you've been taught that's contrary to the word of the Most High. Because the Most High deal with nationality. He loved Jacob. You don't see none of us perish, but it's gonna be 2/3 of our people. That's way more. That's double the amount of the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel that's going to be saved. 2/3 is going to be put to death. That's why we're warning you to adhere. Because what good is speaking on resurrection if you ain't prepared yourself for the resurrection and doing what you're supposed to do to be a part of the resurrection. Israel always tempted the Most High, always, come up with a way to deny him. And Mashiach Yahushua. Because they don't see him in the volume of the book. That's why Most High say he hide his face from us. We're going to see what our end going to be. See, Israel don't take it seriously. Enough, I'll say. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 15. I wanted to finish up from there. It's a lot. There's a lot more I can cover. I just want to make sure that I cover. As I said, I was going to go back. I went backwards in 1 Corinthians 15. That's where we started in. We're going to go to 1 Corinthians 15 and 24. It says, then cometh the end. Then cometh the end. The end of this world that we are in. That's why, real quick, 2nd Ezra 6 and 9 says, For Esau is the end of the world. So that means Esau would have to be ruling at the end of the world. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followed, meaning the 12 tribes of Israel, we got next. Now I hear somebody say, we got now, but we don't have now. Esau is ruling the world. This is his rulership. How we got now? Where's our money at? With your face on it. Where's our Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines? Where's our corporations? That all we got to do is just go to each other for whatever we need. Where are our banks? No. We got next. As it just said, Esau is the end of the world. Just what he said, look what he said. Esau is the end of the world. For then cometh the end, in 1 Corinthians 15:24. When he shall have delivered up the kingdom to the Most High, even the Father, when he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power. So, when I looked, last I looked, Daniel's 7:18 says this. Have we done this? This we fulfilled this? This is where we got next comes from. Daniel 7:18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. Have we done this? And possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. We ain't done this. So going back, hold that. Going back to 1 Corinthians 15:24, it says, then comes the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to the Most High, even the Father, when he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power. For he must reign till he have put all enemies under his feet. Right? Daniel 7:27. In the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High. Is that given to us? No. This ain't our kingdom. It ain't been given to us. So we're going to take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Future prophecy. Why we say we got next? Forever and ever and ever. As we